Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast, coming to you live, not live because we record this, we're definitely not live, from my hospital ward, because life can be a little bit miserable, life could take your leg, but we're here to bring you a little bit of joy and grow back your leg. Not grow back your leg, we can't do that. I'm not doing another Dr. Connors reference, but instead I'll introduce Stu. Hi Bradley, how you doing, Stu?
I'm okay. Yeah, no, I've not been legless for quite some time. So, yeah,
Hey,
that's
I'm
the
not
difference.
legless.
No, that's true.
I have changed. Right. See, we've done this joke with Edith to tell her football coach before we go. Right, I've had to change my name to Arthur.
Go on.
Arthur Leg. Ah! That's bad, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
It's bad.
But there was like, is this an EastEnders reference? Because there was Dr. Leg and there was Arthur.
Oh, there was, weren't there? Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with EastEnders. It's just Arthur Leg. Because I'm in London as well, so, you know.
Yeah.
It works, but it's still shit. Knees up Mother Brown.
I was going to say knee up Mother Brown. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. I've got to become a West Ham supporter. Fucking hell. Not doing that.
No. No one should do that. No one should be made to do that.
No. Do you know who else doesn't want to be a West Ham supporter?
Who's that?
Video games show. I'm not on my Segway game today.
No.
That doesn't work at all. But hey, we're on to video games because it's got to be a quick episode because I've got appointments. So what have you been playing, Stu?
Yeah, I'll rattle through them. I've not been playing anything this week at all. I've had such a crap week of work.
I'm not laughing at you having a crap week, by the way. It was so what have you been playing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sod it.
Yeah.
Why do we even do this?
I know. It's partly because I've had one of those times where I've started a few things and none of them have caught my attention and I've not enjoyed them. And then I've been like, it's that thing of like, you know, if you meet lots of people in a day and you meet an arsehole, they're the arsehole. If you meet lots of people in a day and they're all arseholes, you're the arsehole. So like with not liking all the games, I'm like, yeah, I'm the arsehole. So I was like, I'm burned out through work. I'm just going to scroll.
I've been a naughty boy.
Yeah.
Actually, talking about it, I've been a really naughty boy, Stu. I've been playing like the Division, like an Ubisoft game, and I bought it.
I know you are. I'm disgusted.
I know, but at the same time, do you know, part of me's going, I nearly fucking died, and it's a game I want to play. Fuck it. At the same time, it's just like, I support you, but at the same time, it's like, it was £2, and I got it from a key site anyway, so, you know, what are you going to do? Buy Ubisoft games from key sites. If you're going to buy an Ubisoft game, the dodgier the better.
I was going to say that's your only way out of this, which is fine. You know, you bought it from someone that's stolen it from them, so that's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel dirty, but also the Division was such a good game. New York, pandemic, Christmas time looks amazing.
It does.
Anyway, we were talking about you, Stu. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to talk about myself for 30 seconds, if that's all right. I'm just kidding. Yeah. But
there's two of us here. Jesus, Stu, get a word in.
I know. I'm so selfish. But yeah, no. So yeah, along those lines of like not really enjoying anything, I'll go back to something I was playing a little while back, but is still ironically quite new, and that's Slopecrashers, which is, as you'd guess from the title, it's to do with snowboarding. Yeah, it could be to do with skiing, but it isn't. It's snowboarding, and you pick from a range of cute little animals and throw them down. Well, you don't throw them down the mountainside, but they throw themselves down the mountainside.
Voluntarily.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So that's an important distinction.
It is. So it's slightly less troubling that way. And as you'd expect, you have to race the others and you have to do some tricks. I mean, not necessarily you'd expect that, but yeah, you do some tricks. And there are various obstacles in your way. There are jumps. There's all that sort of stuff, as you'd expect. What it's done is it's kind of a indie version of Mario Kart in a way, or, Sonic and All Stars Racing type thing, where you're competing, you fire stuff at your enemies and you try and get to the front and they're cobbling you at the same time and all of that. And It's, simple, quick, comparatively cheap, that sort of thing. There's not much to say about it other than that, I'm afraid. It's kind of just saying that it's Mario Kart on ice is pretty much enough. Although obviously it's nowhere near as polished or as visually spectacular as a Nintendo game, and it doesn't have that polish.
But what is these days, in all fairness?
Yeah, precisely. But does it fill that niche well enough? Yeah, it does. If you want to play Mario Kart on a snowboard, pick it up. It's fun.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's the quintessential 5-minute pick up and play game. Where you'll go, I tell you what, I'll do a couple of months and I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow you'll go, I tell you what, I'll have a run, and then you're done for the weekend, kind of thing. And there's always room for those sort of games, always room. And you pretty much covered what I thought. I felt with a lot of these games, none of them have. I will come on to a game where this is probably a bit more pertinent in a second, but none of these games have ever quite nailed the tricks like SSX has.
No.
That was almost perfection, and none of them have managed it. And it's just, I think, in the trick status, it doesn't feel like you're getting like that extra boost or that extra oomph that you would expect from it. And I think that's my only issue with it, because other than that, it is so much fun to play.
Yeah, exactly. It's technically good. But like you say, there's so much more polish needed on these sorts of things to add that pizzazz and the drive. And like you say, Tricky did it perfectly. And it was just, that shows you what innovators do, doesn't it? It shows you, like, they've got a concept. They're like, I want to bring snowboarding to the console world, but it's got to have this excitement. It's got to feel like, the X Games. It's got to have that feeling at home in your hands, and they built it all around that. Whereas this is obviously, it's an imitator, and it's not just imitating that, it's imitating Nintendo games. So yeah, it's fine, but it's of a mold, isn't it?
Yeah, there's plenty better, but I mean it's about a tenner the game as well. So there's plenty better, but they are the £10. So yeah, it is what it is. I say it's enjoyable. But to recreate SSX Tricky, Stu, do you know that could drive you insane? It really, really could. It's like almost like it could drive you to madness, Stu.
It could. As could some segues. Yeah.
Yes, that's a better segue than my opening segue, because you've had a bit of a theme with the games you've played.
I have, because the next one is Tricky Madness, which, as you just said, as the title would suggest, it's an SSX Tricky kind of copy, but an unabashed one, an unashamed one.
Before we go any further, we've got to say very early access.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a big part of what I talk about, because it's basically unfinished and it's unpolished, and I'd say that what's there at the moment shows some really good signs of what could come, but if you're buying it now, what you'll get is there's only 2 courses, 2 characters to choose from, and it's, kind of patently unfinished, which is absolutely fine because it doesn't pretend to be finished at all. So it's got, solid core mechanics, and it's got all of the ingredients that you're going to need going forward to make it actually work. So it's got, trees, obstacles, just, as you'd expect in Tricky. It's got that pseudo comic book look, but still fairly realistic. And you do your jumps, and when you do your jumps, you then switch from your what's it called, thumbstick to the digital pad. I mean, you don't have to, but I like doing that because that's what it was like with Tricky. Switch to the D-pad to do your different holds and tricks, and you earn points for that, but also you earn boost and all that caper. It's just Tricky. But at the moment, it's not got, again, the pizzazz. It hasn't got the feedback that you need to make that fun. It doesn't give you the level of boost that you really need when you've done that. And it just feels incomplete. But all the building blocks are there. They're all in place. So with a lot of tweaking, I think it will be there. It's under £5 at the moment. Well, it was when I bought it. I would not.
£6.69 at the moment. So
right. I would say not to buy it yet, unless you want to, if you know the developer and want to support them. And this is no shade on the developer. It's just that there's not really any game in there yet. So you're only really backing a project that it's like a Kickstarter essentially, and been given a demo. But I would say put it on your wish list, and when it gets its 1.0 release, definitely have a look, see if it's got everything in there you need, and go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I decided to go and play because I thought, to be fair, I could be remembering SSX Tricky through rose-tinted spectacles, rose-tinted glasses. I wasn't, because I played it fairly recently anyway, but I thought, you know what, I'll go straight back to SSX Tricky. And it immediately struck me a couple of things that really stood out with Tricky Madness. It still needs. One, it needs some banging music added to it. That will help loads, because it just feels like it's in a vacuum at the moment.
Yeah,
it doesn't have anything. And also, I think the music, what you got with SSX Tricky is obviously when you got the Tricky, it obviously broke into that iconic, that iconic soundbite as well. It broke into that.
The Run DMC sample.
Yeah, and this doesn't have that. And I even forget that there's like a mad. Did they still use Tricky, or they use Madness? I can't remember what terms they use on their film, but I forget that it's even there. Which is a shame, because you should use it. And I don't, again, with SSX, you're not taking your eyes off what you're doing to check your meter. You hear that, you go, right, I can now pull off these tricks. You don't get that here. And the courses aren't as iconic. There's something iconic about, like, I can still go back to that first SSX Tricky level, and I know it by heart. Whereas this, you've got, for whatever reason, it seems to have picked out the Dark Descent options from the 2012 remake of SSX, which was also brilliant, by the way, underrated. Come at me and all that. But it's got, like, at one stage, a massive cavern, like, drop, which you, like, every time I go to it, it doesn't feel like you can avoid it as well, which is annoying. And the grinds aren't there either quite at the moment. I keep falling off grinds. And it just, everything feels a bit flat. But, there's something, there's something there. And you see, if EA aren't going to do something with SSX, and there isn't really any other major snowboarding games coming out, then I think this could be the one. I would love to see a Raw Fury or a Devolver Digital get hold of this and give the funds. It's a solo developer at the moment. Give him the funds to really get behind this and make it what it can be.
Yeah, that would be great. It needs that boost, doesn't it? Or a boost similar to that if it wants to be up there in the stratosphere. Especially as, like you say.
Nathan Dearth, sorry, he's self-publishing, but he needs something which allows him the help to add the bits that are needed.
Yeah, no shade, Nathan. It's a really good start. I'm looking forward to it being the full thing, definitely.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and hopefully he's getting really good feedback. Rather than just the usual, oh, this is an SSX Tricky, or, oh, I really like this. He needs proper feedback. So hopefully maybe listen to this, and, it does need something with the music. I'm not saying spend money on DMC. No one's saying that. Find a local independent music artist who can give you an iconic soundbite, or not even but a really pumping soundbite that, just tells you in your brain instantly you're kicked in now. Maybe add some effects that maybe show the speed that you're doing. It just feels that bit slower than SSX Tricky and all the SSX games. It just needs those little extra bits just added to it, just to really allow it to start shining. So, but great start. Can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll just say very, very quickly, I think part of it is definitely field of view, because the original game obviously is 4:3 aspect ratio, so it's like tight, and this is much wider. And when it's wider, you've really got to think about your field of vision, field of view, and how you make that, a tool for you rather than it being a blocker to speed. But yes, that's all. Go on. I'm shutting up.
All he needs to add, I think, with something like that as an effect is some speed blur lines to the sides. Create a pseudo 4x3 view.
Yeah, some blurring, some vignetting, anything like that. It's a good idea.
They're add-ons at the moment. I mean, the fact is, I think mechanically he's nailing it, and that's the most important thing at this stage.
Yeah.
Nail it mechanically. Everything else you can add later.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep it going. I can't. We'll follow it. We'll recover it again when it's got a major update or the 1.0 release, because I think what he's doing is absolutely brilliant and deserves more time.
Indeed. So, right, what have you been playing?
I've been playing an indie game.
Kel Surprise?
That is a roguelike. Kel Surprise. Doesn't have deck building or anything like that. It's called Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop. And essentially, you play a fox, I want to say. I think it's a fox. It's got 3 eyes, but it's like an alien fox type creature. Anyway, alien fox type creature dies, brought back to life, and basically has to constantly, in like a Groundhog Day scenario almost, fix rockets for someone called Uncle Chop. And he's got to make his rent or die. And you get more tools the more you play. You get more difficult ships to fix. You've got a handbook with all the instructions in it of what you're meant to do. And you just basically, you wake up, you clock in. You've got to make sure you clock in, by the way. Got to clock in. Otherwise you won't get paid. You don't want to not get paid. You then have to go. You sort of like call in the first rocket ship you need to fix. It'll give you, you maybe got to change the oil or change the fuel, or it can get really difficult with loads of different bits you've got to do. And say you've got this manual that tells you how to do it. And what I love about this manual, it's not done like a video game type thing. It's like a proper like mechanics manual. So it kind of tells you about all the different parts, but it doesn't tell you step by step how to do them. It's just a kind of like a very basic, like, you've got to do this part, this does this, and links into this and stuff like that. So there's a lot of figuring stuff out for yourself. There's lots of, say, upgrades that get you to and they do other bits that get you to, say, more complicated rocket ships, and it just repeats, die, repeats, die, or repeat and sleep, repeat and sleep, repeat and sleep. Sometimes you die. There's let's say some lore in there that gets uncovered. There's definitely something going on. I've not worked out what that is yet because I'm not very good at it. But it's got hold. It's definitely got hold of me, and it's a fantastic game with a brilliant look, some really good humour, a decent story going on behind it. But most importantly, the actual core mechanics of being a mechanic. Oh my God, that's just outstanding, chef's kiss. Brilliant, absolutely. I can't recommend this enough. Again, it's taken the roguelike genre and just gone in a direction with it that you didn't expect. We've had all sorts, but I've never thought mechanical rocket ship fixing with death looming over you was a much needed option in the genre. But here we go. It's wonderful.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's good. Is it going to trouble the top 10, top 20? What do you reckon?
What, in my game of the year?
Your game of the year.
Well, so far I'm just chucking them all in and picking them out by hand because it's tight. There's so many good options for different reasons that could be a game of the year, and I don't think it's fair to pick a single one just because Bilatro could still easily be it. Satisfactory could so easily be it. Hell, my recent experiences with Dungeon Crawler could be it. I've just started playing another. We were speaking last week about doing like these roguelikes in various different ways of doing it. Well, there's a pachinko based one that's coming out soon from Raw Fury, always producing solid games that uses pachinko, and It's just different things you use to pick up on the way to get your scores. And like Dungeon Crawler, as someone on the forum pointed out, it does a much better job than a lot of other roguelikes of, because everything gets put there, you see in these synergies in a much clearer way. You see the actual effects of what you're putting in there, and it's the same with ball. I'm not going to go into detail about Boolean there because embargo and that, but we're seeing so many really good options. I mean, there's games I still haven't spoke about that could be in there. Locomotive. I've got Sons of Silence is really good. Tetris Forever is amazing. What else is there? Will What Worked It Out was really good. I had so many sort of good options, like times with that. Phoenix Springs obviously was amazing. So there's just so many. And you go back to JV and Balatro, and that still stood the test of time. I don't know, Stu. Is the answer to that?
That's the easy answer,
end up in my top 20. Yeah, it could end up in my top 20. It could end up falling out just because there's been so many.
It's bizarre.
It's ridiculous.
It makes like Balatro feel like it came out in 2020 or something. It was only like February or something. But it feels like decades ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally going through my list of like great games that I've like already got here. Frostpunk, UFO 50, Plucky Squire, and that's only going back to September. I mean, again, you've got there is shite as well. Usually sort of like EA or something like that, or 2K, like that tennis game. It didn't quite work out that I was hoping for. But even sort of like some hidden gems that I really enjoyed that I forgot about, like Kaku, is a really good, despite its name, really good game. Dyson Fold, Emberwald, I could go on and on and on. I won't, because I would. So I'm going to stop myself. But just know, I don't know how we do Game of the Year this year. I don't think we actually award an actual Game of the Year because I don't think it's fair. You can, if you've got one that really stands out, but I honestly don't think it's fair to go, this is it.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, I mean, we're not about competition on here, are we? Really? I mean, we're not. No, I say I won. I won this argument. No, that's no.
I'm kicking ass at being an amputee. I'm the world's best amputee. I'll have you know.
Yeah, kicking ass. Yeah, challenging.
I've made it all the PT. Yeah, I'm out of here by the 19th. I'm literally. I've come in. I've done everything, and they're going to kick me out because I'm a boss. I'm absolutely boss it at all. So I'm the world's best amputee. Thank you very much.
I like it. Yeah, it's crown you that. Get your crown for your stump.
No, because it'll ruin my tattoo.
Get in the way of the Tetris.
I was thinking about, could I get a modded Game Boy like into my leg?
What sort of RoboCop style?
Yeah, so in my leg, it's just literally in my leg, like maybe use a Raspberry Pi or something like that, because Raspberry Pi does everything. Maybe a Pico one of the little tiny ones. Cut out a portion, have a screen in there, just have it running like Tetris, Game Boy Tetris.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, I was originally thinking, I wonder if I could do it in my leg, but I thought, no, that's probably not a good idea, cutting out a hole in my leg. My actual, like my stumpy bit. I thought, no, I won't do that. But yeah, I'm very tempted to, like, down the line, if I ever get enough money, is to get a leg, cut it out, and Raspberry Pi a screen into it.
Nice. That would be superb. Do it.
But I don't know, to have it facing me or facing it to the people looking at it so people can play it on my leg.
Just have it reversible so you can do both.
Oh, yeah, could do, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I always ideas.
Yeah. Like, you know.
Game Boy Tetris leg. There you go.
Like them cameras, the cameras that have the screens that pop out and move around.
Yes, if anyone fancies trying to make that work for me that listens, get in touch. That's a project for you.
Yeah, Project Robo Leg or something.
Yes. And the one bit of me that's not broken is my mouth. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Stu. I'm going to do it for you. Right. Yeah. It's a favour. Okay. Really big favour for you.
Go on.
I went to a class. Sorry, just on the side. This it was what was I doing? I can't remember what I was doing, but I kept talking. It was Oh, it was stretchies, like morning stretchies. And I said that, like, they actually told me you don't need one thing, like your mouth is already stretched. It's constantly going. So, yeah. Anyway, Stu, with that, I'm going to shut up now.
When you started that anecdote, I thought you were doing it to take the piss, but my
brain actually started going off.
Yeah.
I should have reminded me. Yes.
I like it.
It's awful. You then started talking to me again. I shut up now. You started talking to me again, Stu. I think you're like a feeder. Oh, yeah. Look, you just love it. Like, you're feeding me constantly. Oh, have a lasagna, Bradley. Oh, yeah, pile on those pounds. That's what you're doing. But in terms of making me speak.
I know. It's entirely my fault. I know this. Yeah.
First you don't let me get a word in, and then you don't let me shut up.
Terrible, aren't I? I'm a disgrace.
For the second time, I'm going to shut up now.
Okay, right. I'm definitely not letting him speak now. Even if he starts, I'm not getting interrupted. So, as usual, follow us on all the socials. Make sure you're checking out all of our content on the website. Although, as I say, it will be down a little bit because Bradley will be, indisposed for a little bit, to come. But we'll get there. But apart from that, obviously join us on the Discord to chat if you want to. And we'll always be here on the podcast, even if we're doing it like one of us in their house and one of them from a hospital ward. So until next week, when we're doing the same sort of thing, but with slightly different conversation and interruptions, stay safe and stay sane.